Wanted to do this video really to convince you to let go of the side hustle and show you how side hustles are actually keeping you broke, right? How you gonna tell me not to have a side hustle? Yep, I'm telling you not to have a side hustle, and I'm gonna tell you why starting now. Hey, CourtneyLSanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time online life and business coach as well as wife and mom. I wear all the hats and do all the things, and I've been wearing all the hats and doing all the things for a very long time. Yes, your girl has been online since 2009. I have been coaching since 2014, and I have been coaching full-time in my full-time business until 2016, which is why I wanted to do this video really to convince you to let go of the side hustle and show you how side hustles are actually keeping you broke, right? Keeping you poor, right? And I do this because I know on YouTube especially, there's all these like videos or people searching, how do I build side hustles? How do I build side hustles? And I know this might come as a surprise as well, because it's like, but wait a minute, Courtney. You were building your business on the side for a number of years before you were able to go full time. How you gonna tell me not to have a side hustle? Yep, I'm telling you not to have a side hustle, and I'm gonna tell you why starting now. Okay, the reason why I say side hustles can keep you poor, and I'm gonna prove this in just a second because I actually made this mistake, is because there is a difference between a side hustle and building your business on the side. I know it sounds like semantics. I know it sounds like I'm splitting hairs, but I'm being very serious here, because if you focus on side hustling, that can actually take you away from building your business on the side, and building your business on the side is actually what you want to be focused on. So the reason why I can come here on this video and say what I'm saying is because I actually never side hustle. Well, almost never side hustled. In fact, I have a story I'm getting ready to get into in just a second, but for the most part, my focus has always been on building my business on the side, not side hustling. And so what I mean by that is when you are building a business on the side, you're building a business, right? You're trying to build a business that is going to eventually be a main thing for you, but you are doing it on the side while you are working your full-time job, and you do this until you are able to go into the business full-time. That is something different. Again, I know it feels like splitting hairs, but that is something different and separate than working on a side hustle, because a side hustle, the focus is just primarily on the money and what can I do to generate some extra income, but it's not really around, am I building a full business that eventually is going to be my main thing? So there's a difference. Are you building your business on the side, or are you building your side hustle? I would say it's a lot more advantageous for you in the long term to build your business on the side versus doing a side hustle. And I know this from firsthand experience, because when I was building my business on the side, again, my coaching business, I started to get really impatient because it was taking me a minute to really create some income. I was starting to make some sales, but I was having a hard time generating the level of sales that I needed to generate in order to go full-time in my business. And so I got the bright idea that I would do a side hustle. So your girl was doing way too much, right? I had a full-time job, and then I was building my business on the side. And then I said, well, I'm just gonna do the side hustle in order to get some money in the door. So I signed up for a side hustle that was around like SEO optimization for local businesses. I had no business being inside of this coaching program, but that's what it was designed for. It was designed to teach you how to help local businesses rank their website on the first page of Google, and how you could get a commission for like any sale that you brought them in. So I wasted so much time, and it was a waste of time, building websites, learning SEO strategies and hacks, having meetings with local business owners. At the time I was living in Dallas, Texas, and I was like going around the city trying to meet with these local business owners to try to convince them to let me grow their business. And initially I was focused on the demographic of limousines, right? Isn't that crazy? So, you know, for prom or for weddings, customers are looking for limousines. And so I was trying to show these like limousine owners in Dallas, Texas, how I could get their website to rank on the first page of Google when someone typed in, you know, limousine Dallas, Texas, and then I was gonna get a commission of all the sales that I brought them. And so this was a complete waste of my time and money, because I invested in a coaching program in order to learn how to do these things. But I very quickly learned that this is not what my passion was. This is not what I wanted to do. Like, I wasn't really interested in this at all. The only reason that I even got into this was because I was impatient with my side business and I wanted to generate some income very quickly. And I found that not only did it take me longer to generate income in the side hustle, but it took away from the attention and focus that I had on my side business, which was already limited because I was also working a full-time job, right? So I was doing like 3 things at the same time. And while I was able to, build a website and sell a website and start to get some initial clients, I eventually just quit the side hustle altogether because I realized I was wasting my time and this is not what I wanted to do. And so this is the first thing that you have to keep in mind when you are often tempted or wooed to build a side hustle, is that oftentimes you're focused on the quick money, but the quick money will often be a distraction towards the long-term money that's going to help you build wealth over time. And so I've always been someone who's very passionate about creating generational wealth for myself and for my family. And I had to come to terms with this little side hustle that I was building. Not only was not helping me build my business, but it was actually taking away from that broader goal that I had, which was creating a legacy business and really creating legacy wealth for myself. So yes, I can do this video because I can raise my hand and say I did have a side hustle for a time, but I let it go because it was completely a distraction and it was focused on quick money, not the long money. And so that's the first reason why I recommend letting go of that side hustle, because it's not worth it. Now, another thing that I realized in that whole side hustling journey, and another reason why I recommend that you let it go if it's not also your side business, is because I wasn't focused on the lifestyle that I wanted to build for the side hustle that I was building. I wasn't interested in running all around the city, having meetings with like small business owners and talking to them about their local SEO. But in order to make money in the side hustle, that is what was going to be required of me. And so part of the reason why I ultimately abandoned it and just decided to focus on building my business on the side was because even if I was successful in that side hustle, I realized that I didn't want to spend the rest of my life doing that. And I didn't want to do the things that were required in order to generate that type of money, even if it was faster money than what my side business was coming in. So I find that a lot of people are so desperate when they're focused on creating a side hustle that they're not thinking about how this is going to impact their life and how it's going to impact their lifestyle. Now, gratefully, I was not a mom then. I was newly married, but I didn't have kids yet. And so, I had the time to kind of run around the city and do all these things and try to, strike these deals with these local business owners. But even then it was exhausting. And I was like, I don't like this. This is not interesting. I don't enjoy doing this. And so that was another reason why I ultimately decided to let it go. So again, if you're tempted and you're wooed to get into the side hustle life because you're like, yes, I can make some quick money, ask yourself, but is this really the life that you want to be building? Do you want to have to do the things that are required in order to get the cash in the door in your side hustle? Or is there a different lifestyle ultimately that you wish that you could be living? Can you build a business around that lifestyle? Yes, you'll be building that business on the side for a time, but again, it's a different mindset of building a side hustle versus building a side business. A side business is for the long term, and it takes your preferred lifestyle in mind. All right, the next reason that side hustles keep you poor and broke and why you want to let them go is because side hustles often require that you commoditize yourself. And I speak about this a lot and against this a lot, particularly in the coaching industry. But oftentimes when you're focused on a side hustle, again, a quick thing that's going to get some cash flow in the door, you are almost exclusively focused on doing the thing that everybody else is doing because it works. And it's just like, how can I get some fast money in the door? And there's really no room for innovation, right? Innovation, being unique, really comes with building a business. That's a whole different mindset. But when you're just focused on getting some money in the door, you're like, okay, what's the tactic or the strategy that's gonna help me make this money quickly? And by definition, you're gonna end up doing what other people have done that have worked before, even if maybe the market is getting saturated and everyone is doing that. And I realized that in my own journey, again, doing this side hustle around, creating these SEO optimized websites and going after these local small business owners, everyone in the coaching program that I was in was doing the exact same thing. And there was no point of differentiation. And so it got to the point where everybody was in such a rush to try to make quick money by doing this particular tactic that it was difficult for me to even attract any more clients because I didn't know anything else to do that would really set me apart. But really, I didn't care to, right? Because this wasn't my business, right? This wasn't my side business. This was a side hustle where I was just trying to make some money on the side. And so I really didn't have the energy to be creative, to think differently, to think about how I could set myself apart from the crowd because I didn't care to, because I didn't like the business, I didn't like the lifestyle. all the points that I shared previously, and I realized that I had backed myself into a corner and I was making myself a commodity, and it was costing me even more because I was spending more and more time trying to set myself apart. So again, you want to think about what is the actual business that you want to create. It should excite you. There should be some passion around it, because when you're naturally excited and passionate about it, that lends itself to thinking creatively and coming up with innovative ideas that is ultimately going to set you apart from others in your industry. Where if it's just a side hustle, you don't really care to, because you just focus on the money, and then you end up getting in the commodity trap. So let go of the side hustle, build a side business instead. All right, I have more where that came from, but first I want to hear from you. Are you building a side hustle or a side business? Share in the comments below. All right, the fourth reason why I let go of my side hustle and why I really believe that they're designed to, well, not that they're designed to keep you poor, but if you're not careful, right, these side hustles can keep you broke, is because going along with the previous stuff around you commoditize yourself, it doesn't leave room for you to build a brand. Again, brand building, that's a business activity, okay? Not a side hustle activity. When you are focused on just having a side hustle, it's very difficult to build a real brand around what you're doing, because again, you're just focused on getting cash in the door. And so I didn't have a CourtneyLSanders like SEO website brand. I wasn't building this like local business marketing brand. Again, I didn't care to, because I didn't really like the business and I was just in it for the money. And I was just trying to create some quick cash because I was being impatient about how long it was taking my actual love, my side business, to develop in order to make sales. And so I was not building a brand. And when you don't have a brand, that actually leads to the fifth point that makes it difficult for you to build real wealth with a side business. And oftentimes this can leave you broke and stuck, is because I wasn't able to leverage it into another stream of income. So oftentimes side hustles, again, because you don't have a brand and it's just something that you're doing to get quick cash in the door, you're not really able to use it to branch off into other streams of income. And I think about my business now, again, I was building it on the side. It has since become my full-time business, 7 years going strong now. I have been able to spin this off into a variety of different income streams, right? I have my main business, which is my coaching business. We recently launched a done for you component where we're building out all of the branding for my clients. We're doing all the marketing that I do in my own coaching business. It's done for you. As I'm recording this, I am in a real estate property that I have purchased. And so I'm able to leverage the profits from my business and get into Airbnbs and short-term rentals and all these different things. I've been hosting retreats, right? I had a retreat that I held in South Africa not too long ago. So there's all these different revenue streams, right? I'm working on a planner, I'm writing a book because I have a brand. So I'm saying the fourth and fifth point go together. Because I have a brand, I am often able to leverage that brand into other streams of income. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I was just focused on building a side hustle, because when you're focused on building a side hustle, it's just about how you can get quick cash in the door, and you often don't have a brand. And then again, there's no longevity, so you're not able to really leverage it into other streams of income. So that's why I'm a big fan of building a side business, but not necessarily a side hustle, because I think for most people, a side hustle is ultimately going to keep you broke. All right, so if this video resonated with you and you're like, I'm done with the side hustle life, I really want to build a business, even if I have to build it on the side for a time, I invite you to join me in my signature coaching program. It's called the Next Big Name Bootcamp. Again, it's hard to become the next big name if you're just side hustling, right? You really want to make sure that you're building an actual business. And so we give you all of the strategies that you need to know in order to truly build a business and a brand that is going to stand the test of time, that is going to have longevity, and is going to allow you to create both the income and the impact that you are looking for. So if that is of interest to you, you're not about that side hustle life, you're like, no, this is my business, I'm trying to build a real business, I encourage you to click the link below in order to apply. And if you're a good fit, we'll invite you to an enrollment call with my enrollment coordinators where you can learn more and hopefully join the program. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you loved it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you can't wait for my next video, make sure that you are following me on my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, on both iTunes and Spotify. And if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next YouTube video, make sure that you are following me on Instagram. It's CourtneyLSanders on Instagram. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.